Now here's a classic camera which is not in my series, my classic cameras, because it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my son. He was given it by a widow lady about 7 or 8 years ago, and unfortunately hasn't used it a great deal now, but he did when he was about 8 and 9 years old get some wonderful shots. It also came with a zoom lens. We'll have a look at the camera first. The Olympus OM2n, famous camera with the Olympus system. This one has a manual and an automatic exposure. You can set it to manual here, exposure, and you can set it to automatic exposure. The difference is that the readout occurs in the viewfinder here. When you want to use an automatic exposure, you will find that the shutter speed will vary according to the aperture you set on the front here, so it's sort of aperture priority. When you want to use it for manual exposure, you set it there and you look through the little viewfinder and you line up a needle with a choice of shutter speeds and apertures. The Olympus is different in that the shutter speeds go around the ring on the lens here. That's different from all the other makes of cameras, but it works very well. This is the focusing. This is the depth of field scale, so you can tell roughly how much sharpness you're getting. If you're on f8 here on the lens, you look at f8 here and it goes to 3 meters further distance, and f8 here goes to 2 meters on the closest distance, and that is the zone of acceptable sharpness or the depth of field you get. You set your ASA number in a little window here by lifting it and turning it. You change the ASA setting that you want. Then if you want to use exposure compensation, there's a little line here and you line up this dial and you use your exposure compensation. If you want it on the plus for photographing white subjects like snow, or you've got somebody spotlit on a dark stage, you want to use minus, you can set it there. Normally you keep it in the middle, of course. Beautiful shutter sound, very good shutter, and it's very sweet on the release. The lens is removable with a little catch here. You turn the lens. I'm not very good at Olympus. Here we are, and it exposes the shutter and the mirror inside. Now the Olympus has a system of exposure setting which is off the film plane here. There we are. That's it now open, it's now shut. At the rear of the mirror there is a system of black and white dots and things on the shutter curtain, and the light reflects off of that and it will give you a very good exposure. This is also for through the lens flash metering. Here is a delayed action which you can set by turning it off the brief time for a minute. This is a delayed action here, and you set it, there we are, it's going now. There's also a standard flash plug on the side where you can plug in standard FP flash bulbs or X synchronization for electronic flash. You must make certain you've got it the correct way round. Now this can easily be changed, but you're knocked to FP flash bulbs, which you don't use much now, but you make certain that it's turned until the little dot is opposite the X for electronic flash. There is a hot shoe here with 3 contacts, 1, 2 and 3. This will give through the lens flash metering if you have a proper Olympus dedicated flash. Well, we don't have a dedicated flash, but we do have a Miranda flash which does slightly dedicated. This is the Miranda flash that he uses, and there is a little control in here, and you can slide that along. It's on O for Olympus at the moment. You can slide it along. You can put there's O, there's C for Canon. Now what that does, it just puts the correct shutter speed for your synchronization into the camera. That's the dedication of it. The correct synchronization is 1/60th of a second, which is the maximum speed you can use on the Olympus for electronic flash. Now let's have a look at a few photographs that my boy has taken with him. Now, he was a member of the Olympus Club, which has now gone defunct. That is his auntie's doggy, taken on Agfa Vista film with his flash. Now, how do we know this? Well, he wrote it all on the back when he sent it off to the Olympus Club. That's how we know. We write things on the back of our prints. There's another one, Willie Lott's cottage. That's a good pictorial photograph that he's taken with the standard lens. We don't have a wide angle. Here's a shopkeeper in Whitby. These are colour prints I've printed off of his negatives. A golden girl on the embankment in London. Now with the zoom lens, he's taken this one, cricketers at Mount Nessing Windmill, with his zoom lens, his 70 to 150 zoom. Here's a picture taken with the zoom lens. This is on the famous Agfa 100 print film, but very high contrast, which is discontinued. I took him to a miniature railway exhibition, and he took that one with his standard lens and the flash. Now here's one that he had in the actual news, one of the local newspapers. That's one of our town bicycle races. That was in the local newspaper there. Now when he was, I think it was age 8, written on the back, he took this black and white one and he's printed it himself in my darkroom with some Ilford Pan F film that he helped me to process. That was done with the light from a projector, tungsten lighting. Here's one of his mum's flowers. That's a stargazer lily. And this one, he's very proud of that one because he got the bloke sticking his tongue out as we were in our car, through our car window. And here's another one he took, the lovers, one of his first ever pictures taken on the Olympus OM2n. Now that's not bad for an 8 and 9 year old boy, and if you've got a camera, I hope you can match his skills. Well, that's a very quick rundown on the Olympus OM2n, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.